Any good Chong'in teams? No. I'm sorry. Is only vertical Pyronado? No, it's weird Pyronado. I'll show you. Yo! Okay. Oh. I think I'm in the right place. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. Alright, Abyss is not endgame content. It's not designed to be endgame content. It never will be endgame content. Because it's, by design, a progression system. Like, it's not something that you do when you're done with all of the main progress of the game. It's part of the main progress of the game. It's the main combat progression. That's what Abyss is. Right? It's the game, not the end game, when it comes to combat. And as such, the early iterations of Abyss were actually pretty good at being that. The recent iterations of Abyss seem like they're kind of trying to be a mix of both, and that is making it fucking garbage. What is a PvE endgame? Never played a game with PvE endgame. So, the artifact system, even with all of its flaws, is a form of potential endgame, right? If artifact domain difficulty kept scaling up, and you had a really high difficulty domain that had like a 10% chance to drop a 5-star artifact, but that didn't cost resin, that could be a form of actual endgame progression. What do I think about the new event? I think the new event could be a really nice form of like low effort endgame, in the sense that they don't have to put any dev time more than what they already have, and the endgame can make itself, but only if it's permanent. And it's not going to be permanent, so it's kind of, you know? But I've also talked about how, you guys know I mean, let's actually go take a look. Oh, that's a bit loud. I think that there is one really, really good endgame system in Genshin Impact that just suffers from being too easy. But if it wasn't too easy, if it was like 10 times harder, everything is already in place for it. And those of you who weren't here last time I talked about it are probably gonna be like, what the fuck are you on about? But think about it. Scalable difficulty based on how much you care about the combat. Rewards that are big enough that if you could grind it repeatedly, it would feel like you're getting something out of it, but small enough that people who don't care about the combat system wouldn't feel like, oh shit, I'm missing out because of that. Honestly, relatively cool buffs and debuffs that are randomized. Incentivizes you to explore places you might have not been to in a while. Lets you fight a lot of different enemies. In Overworld, so you can co-op it if it's too difficult for you. It has literally everything going for it, except for the fact that the mob's HP is too low. That's literally the only problem with the bounty system, is that the mobs are a joke, and you can only do 3 of them a week. But like, multiply the mob's HP by 50, and let us repeat it multiple times, and you have an actual good endgame system. Yeah, and their damage as well, that's true. Would they increase the rewards? They don't even need to. Like, sure, it would be nice if, like, maybe the one in Sumeru gives you Mora, the one in Leah gives you, like, artifact experience, the one in Inazuma gives you character experience, the one in Mondstadt gives you weapon level experience, or talent levels, maybe. Like, talent books or something. 30k to 50k Mora would be nice. I don't think it's necessary. Like, just it being repeatable would be enough. It being repeatable and difficult enough that it doesn't take you longer to walk there than it does to kill the mob. That would be enough. Literally just that. 2 small changes that are literally like so incredibly easy to make that an intern could do it in 5 minutes. Like, it's literally just change the level of the enemy and make it so you can do it more than 3 times a week. That's all the changes. Obviously, like, they're not gonna do it because they don't actually want you to be able to enjoy Genshin over an extended period of time, because then you wouldn't feel incentivized to go and try their other games. But yeah, like, they already have, like, it's not that they can't design good endgame systems, they just don't want to. Can I see the graphics you play with? Sure. This should be off. Basically, you go to highest possible settings, adjust your render resolution based on how good your computer is, and then turn off motion blur and bloom, because they look like shit. No, but I haven't really helped Nick with his content recently, because there hasn't been much to help with. Like, let's look at the recent units. Fav, don't play him or Fav. Daya. You can go Umbrella. Or Iron Sting. Fav. Just whatever catalyst you have. Fav. Dull Blades. Things recently have been very, very streamlined. There hasn't been much different in terms of what's good for the characters. There hasn't been much difference in terms of what teams are good. What do you want to do with a Hytham? Well, Hyper Bloom or Quicken. What do you want to do with Nahida? Well, Hyper Bloom or Quicken. Or if you're feeling spicy, Virgin. What do you want to do with Yao? Well, Hyper Bloom or Quicken. Or maybe even Nilo. What about Baiju? Well, Hyper Bloom or Quicken, and maybe even Nilo. What about, like, recently, units have been so similar to each other in terms of, like, how they function and where they function. It's just not complicated. There's not much to fuck up. Nick isn't gonna need my help to fucking calc different teams when all the teams work the same way, and the ones that work a different way are so fucking bad that it doesn't really matter. Here, you guys want to know my prediction for 4.0? Here's my prediction. Hydro Archon, well, that's not gonna be 4.0, but we'll probably have leaks for them by then. But, okay. Hydro MC is gonna be a carry. And a pretty mid one. Not very good, but good enough to actually be playable. That's prediction number 1. Not healer. We have too many Hydro healers. I don't want another Hydro healer. It's fucking boring. Give me something new. Or if they're a healer, at least give them something more than just healing. Maybe make them a shielder. I don't know. But my prediction is carry. Or like damage dealer at the very least. Okay, that's prediction number 1. Prediction number 2. We're getting new characters that are actually pushing new teams forwards. That's prediction number 2. Prediction number 3. We're not getting any new form of repeatable content. None whatsoever. No endgame, no nothing. That's prediction number 3. Prediction number 4. We're gonna get an event in 4.0 that is going to have underwater combat. And it's not gonna be fun. Prediction number 5. We're gonna get a rerun of Labyrinth Warriors. Which will actually be fun. At least to some extent. But then it will leave after 2 weeks and we'll never see it again. And then finally, prediction number 6. will get the option to mute Paimon permanently. Real and true. Okay. Cool. That's not happening? Shut up. Because she'll die in the Archon quest? True!